Stay tuned as we take a look at this Marvel Legends X-Men 2-pack with Havok and Polaris. Hello and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. Today we are taking a quick look at this Marvel Legends X-Men 2-pack with Havok and Polaris in their more X-Factor, uncanny X-Men inspired outfits. Now we do have some recent releases of these two characters in their more modern day designs, but when you think of Havok and Polaris, a lot of people actually think of them in these costumes. So it's nice to Hasbro to give us that in this retro packaging. Now we do get some effect pieces, but again, things we've seen a million times before, just these bubbly effect pieces and some interchangeable hands for Polaris, it seems. On the side of the box, we're getting a picture of Polaris and Havok, exact same pictures on that side. On the back, we're getting those retro ID cards with Alex Summers and Lorna Dane. Alex Summers, of course, the brother of Scott Summers, and then Lorna Dane is the daughter of Magneto, so the sister of Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver essentially. But yeah, retro 90s packaging, looking good, all in line with this Marvel 80 years anniversary. But yeah, without further ado, let's get them open. And here we have them out of the packaging, as already mentioned, in their uncanny X-Men X-Factor inspired outfits with that blue and yellow, and both looking decent, to be fair. Havok sort of suffers from a skinny sort of wrist syndrome, which I will get into in a minute, but Polaris is looking very nice with her sort of 80s manic big buffy hair and really frizzy hair, and it's all detailed and textured and even got colour details in there as well. Sort of looks toxic green, doesn't it? But it works with her green lips as well, and they both come with the same effect pieces but in different colours, and they're not the best effect pieces to demonstrate their powers, if I'm honest, but you can get them to work. Polaris seems to come with interchangeable hands as well, which just are fisted hands if you didn't want to with those sort of spread out hands. But yeah, let's take a closer look at both of them, and let's start off with Mr. Skinny Wrist, aka Havok. So taking a closer look at Alex Summers, and I do actually like the head sculpt. I like the sort of hair over the mask with the big quiff, and I like the facial expression as well. And yeah, I do actually quite like the head sculpt. The jacket does seem to be removable as well. It seems to come apart down here, and it's a bit hard, but I could warm it up and take it off if I wanted to reveal the sort of the blue chest with the big yellow X. But then of course you'd have the jacket arms. So again, if you want to customize, you want to mix and match, there is an option, but you're going to have to take the arms off. But you can see the X Factor logo there on the side, and then he's got some blue effect on the top of the jacket. And then moving down, he's got a belt, which is a separate piece. Belt sort of matches up with the sort of above the forearm sort of wrist pieces, I guess. And then he's got the same leg issues as Cyclops, as in these are a separate piece, and you're going to have to glue them if you want to. Same with the feet look. Very frustrating. You're going to have to glue them. But the people that have the big issue are with the wrists. People feel like Hasbro forgot to do something about the wrist here. You can see his really strong forearm, and then he's just got a super skinny wrist and a black glove. So maybe they missed out something there. We're not too sure. Now, a few people have come to the fix of using the little wrist pieces that come here. You can see with Samurai version of Wolverine. And so at the minute, I'm just taking off. I'm just getting the sort of wrist pieces here, look. So if I take the wrist piece off from that guy and then put them on this guy, maybe you can hide the skinny wrist problem. So let's try that. So that doesn't look that bad, does it? It looks better, let's be honest, than the previous no wrist. So let's have a look at no wrist. So you tell me which side looks better. Do we need the sort of black glove, or do we not need the black glove? I think it definitely looks better with the black glove. So definitely going to have to use the other version, other side of this guy as well, and rob them for Alex. There you go, I've actually robbed both of the little wrist pieces from Wolverine, so it looks like he's wearing full black gloves now, and it does make a difference. And if you wanted to use his effect pieces, you can, you don't even need to take the wrist off, you can literally slide the wrist through and sort of just get him sort of balance in there, I guess. Again, they're not the greatest, but you can get them to work. But yeah, Havok looks decent enough with or without them. And then here we have a quick comparison with the modern costume version of Havok in the black and the silver. There are other versions of Havok as well. There's one where we've got some crazy head accessory. I think even Toy Biz give us that version way back in the day. But these two are two solid versions of Havok. Again, X Factor and then modern day sort of X-Men. So up to you which one you like, but you can definitely find a place for both of them in your X-Men display somewhere. Taking a closer look at Polaris, you can see her crazy Boffin Bear hair, again with all different shades of green, but it is all textured in there. You can see it's actually all sculpted, all these curls and swirls, that big Boffin 80s hairstyle. And I like the uniform as well. It's just blue and yellow, but there's some nice sculpted details. You can see like the zip around the side there. You get the X Factor logo, and then she has separate pieces for the belt, the wrists, and then also the ankles as well. And there's some decent range of articulation for this figure as well. So you only get the diaphragm swivel, but it does give you enough back crunch that even with this massive hair, you can get a looking up and then looking down. But again, there's a lot of hair, so you're not going to get a looking up unless you move the diaphragm joint. Only single jointed elbows for a female figure as always, but they do go further than 90, so not bad at all, to be fair. She does come with some interchangeable pieces, but again, it is just two fisted hands, so nothing too exciting there. But if you wanted to get your Polaris punching someone, then that is something you can definitely do. And you just pop on these little fists, and that is something you will make happen. But both sides have decent range of articulation, to be fair, considering female figures don't usually have a lot. And again, these effect pieces, you can take off the fist and put them on, but again, they will just sit there. They're a bit too big for her hands and her wrists, if I'm being honest. But again, you might be able to get it to work, or maybe rob some other accessories from your sort of fodder box. Mine are all packed up in storage, so I can't even show you. But still, you can get this one to work if you wanted to. Again, it's just manipulating it a little bit. You do get two of these. So yeah, use your imagination, go crazy, but that's Polaris. Remember, she has the same abilities as her father, Magneto. And then lastly, here we have a quick comparison of Polaris in her X Factor uniform compared to a more updated modern day version of Polaris. And I did always like this figure, to be fair. It come in the Warlock Build-A-Figure wave, and I like the metallic lips, and I like her cape and the way her hair sits. And yeah, I always did like this figure, to be fair. So I'm definitely going to keep this in the display, but I will add this version of Polaris to my X Factor version of the display. So obviously, let's get Polaris in, let's get Havok in, and let's add in Multiple Man. I do need to buy more than one Multiple Man, to be honest. But all of these are from the X Factor. I do need to sort of get a Wolfsbane from sort of maybe Kit Basher version that come with Danny Moonstar. Maybe use this body, as that would be a nice touch. But yeah, X Factor definitely can have their own little corner of the X-Men display now, all looking very nice. So as always, you let me know what you think in the comments below. Is this your favorite version of Havok and Polaris, or do you prefer the modern day versions, or are there different outfits you actually want to see Hasbro release? Always curious to hear your thoughts in the comments below. But overall, I do like these X Factor versions, and I believe this is the sort of look that they actually appeared in the animated series in the 90s with as well. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below, as always, and please, please, please hit that subscribe button, and make sure you follow me everywhere else, whether it be Vimeo or even want to support me, even that little bit extra, you can find me on Patreon as well. Much, much appreciated, as always, people, as all I'm doing here, talking toys. But my name's been Dan W, and I shall see you on the next one.